I don't know. Okay. Um, Columbine, question 1. What have you noticed about the author's style? Um, I think that it's kind of hard to read, to be honest, because it's kind of like it switches around a lot on what's going on. But I do like it. It gives like a lot of details. Sometimes they're really unneeded, but I think it's cool.
Yeah, I'd say it's more complex than simple.
Okay, how would this book be different if it were nonfiction? If it were nonfiction, well, it is nonfiction. If it was fiction, it wouldn't even be the same book because it's based on something that happened, so it wouldn't even be the same thing at all.
Yeah, it can't be fiction because it happened. So, yeah,
So yeah, it has to
mean-
be nonfiction.
well, it could be different because they could make up like a story.
Yeah, they could like make up a fake person to like live through it.
There's
But-
no need to do it because
Yeah, I like that they made it nonfiction and that it's like the true story. Is the narrator the best point of view from which to tell the story? There really isn't a narrator at all because, well, there is the narrator as in like the author, but there's not like a person in the story that's like telling it from their point of view. It's just basically the author like switching from talking about different people all throughout the story and like what's going on. It's basically just the author talking about what's happening and different people's lives in the story of what's going on. But yeah, I think that it would be a little bit better if it like stuck to one character, and if she did make, or he, I don't know who the author is, made like one person the narrator and like went on that person, because like I said earlier, it's kind of confusing how it jumps around to a whole bunch of people and you can't really tell anymore like who it's talking about. Is there anything in the text so far that reminds you of text you have read or something you have watched? I think like I've read books kind of like this where there's, like I said, there's no narrator but the author, and it's just kind of telling the story. But this is a pretty unique book that I haven't read much like it before. Okay. Have you identified a character who seems like possible victim or outsider? Yeah, like obviously Dylan and Eric are gonna be like, they're not victims or outsiders, but they're the villains of the story, I guess. And yeah, there's not really all of the people that were like other than them in the story are kind of victims, especially like the parents at the section that we ended at. It was like talking about all the parents trying to find their kids, so they were obviously victims in what's going on. And I don't think that there's really any outsiders. You would think that Dylan and Eric were, but they were both pretty popular in school and they weren't really like outside of the other people in their school, and they fit in pretty well considering what they did. And it was supposed to